All right, hello everyone, and welcome to EGL week number 6. Bet you didn't think you would see me here. I am here, joined by Exernian. We're subbing in for Pac and Colonel. They had things to do. We got Revolution versus Monkeys Rising. Exernian, how's it going?
Oh my goodness, Clutch. I don't know what to say. Originally it was supposed to be Mr. Clutch himself and Colonel. So I don't know where Colonel is. He's probably, doing some other things. I am new to the caster desk. I've been on it a couple times here and there, far and between. It's not my comfort zone as I'll put it, but it's nice to be here. It's my first time casting with Clutch himself. I have casted with Matt Pizza and Kobe Matthews before, but it's a very different experience. So I'm doing all right.
All right, yeah, well, it's gonna be a banger of a series. Revolution, Monkeys Rising, Rev. Obviously, they have had some struggles this split. Really haven't been able to find their footing. And for the side of Monkeys Rising, kind of like the silver team, right? Like the underdog team. We're able to pick up a win against Big Duck Entourage, but otherwise they really haven't been able to find out much as we now head into Draft Exernian.
Yeah, we're heading right into draft, and like we mentioned on the pregame show on the Waveline just a couple minutes or half an hour prior, this is a huge series for both teams, especially Monkeys Rising. If they don't win this series, playoffs is out of the picture for them. So I'm not sure, like I mentioned before, I don't know what they're going to be looking as they take away the Ashe and Set from Revolution.
Yeah, Ashe and Set taken away. It was one thing that I was talking about, that the Ashe and the Set side of Revolution, they really liked these picks. It was something they liked, the flex pick. And now we'll see what Rev's gonna go for here. They've looked for the Volibear a couple times and the Galio, which can be flex support. Sharp Otter has played it a decent amount. Possibly look for Monkeys Rising to pick Jinx here.
Yeah, and we're seeing some really big takeaways too from the side of Revolution. They took away Ornn and Urgot. Urgot I know is a big pick for basing the second. And I mean, when you're targeting one of these players like that, you're easily identifying what are the strong points of Monkeys Rising. And obviously Revolution, I do like the Galio pick first. Obviously he's a flex, can go support, can go mid. Honestly, I'm not too keen on him being picked with intent to be on support. Obviously, I think he's better as a counter pick into Thresh, Leona. But we're going to be seeing Ezreal and Xin Zhao from the side of Monkeys Rising.
Yeah, very staple drafts coming through from Monkeys Rising. Obviously, Ezreal, I think the strongest ADC in the game. He's just so goddamn strong. He's so slippery too. And obviously the Xin Zhao, who we've seen shown up in the jungle a little bit here, should be very solid. And now we see Rev. It's been a Monkeys Rising thing where they pick the Jinx. Now Revolution elects, we're going to be taking it this time.
Yeah, I mean, Jinx, we have seen iYoked play Jinx pretty much every single game that it's available. We saw them B1 Jinx, I think, all of last week. So it's interesting for me to see them actually pick Ezreal. I do think Ezreal is a very good scaling pick. Obviously, his items are a lot cheaper than Jinx's. Jinx's I think she has to go straight for her mythic, and Ezreal, you can buy, your cheaper items first, like Metamune. You start stacking that tier, and then you can throw Sunderer in kind of whenever you're ready, right?
And we see the Nocturne pick coming through. It is still a flexes. Now we see the Thresh come through from Monkeys Rising. Now, we did say Galio could be flexed, and, now maybe Revolution says, all right, we see the Thresh. Like you said, Galio does beat Thresh. Let's move that Galio into the support position. We already have the Nocturne. I'm looking Monkeys Rising to either ban or take the Shen possibly, because Nocturne, Shen, Galio, just the wombo combo, the globals could be a little bit too much to handle for the side of Monkeys Rising.
Yeah, and like you said, the Thresh does lose to the Galio, and I'm not sure on the Thresh pick here. I do like Zell's Thresh, but if you're picking Thresh knowing that this Galio could be going support, you're kind of counter-picking yourself, right? And, counter-pick, you could have saved this support pick. It really depends how Monkeys Rising wants to play. Obviously, they're leaving mid and top on the table, so obviously maybe we're going to see some stronger picks towards that. I'd like to see Basing still play a carry maybe, so there is that.
Yeah, and the Monkeys Rising banning away the Annie. We'll see if the Victor is going to be up next, because both these mids play a lot of Victor. I believe it's Chinese Spy. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's Chinese
Yes,
Spy.
it's Chinese Spy. Yep.
Yeah, Chinese Spy and Kurt are both very, very good Victor players. So with the Orianna being banned away, maybe Monkeys Rising say, we want to take the Victor. So maybe Revolution's going to be like, no. We're just going to ban the Victor. We don't have any answers to it. One thing I do want to point out, control mages right now aren't the best in the best of spots. Like the items are just terrible. So maybe, as we see the Wukong ban, maybe that's not what they go for, as we see the Seraphine going to be locked in for Monkeys Rising.
Yeah, Seraphine. I mean, Seraphine, I would have liked to see if they intended to play it. Obviously, earlier in the draft, you can flex her mid support. She has, I mean, we even saw Seraphine top lane a couple times in Season 1 of EGL. Definitely an interesting pick. Oh, please don't pick this Revolution.
Oh.
No. Sharp Otter, I know he is a fan of the champion, but I flame. I'm like Kobe Matthews, I flame. And we see the Rakan lock in. Okay. Honestly, I like the Rakan into Thresh matchup. From my own solo queue adventures, I think my win rate against Thresh is like 70-something% out of like almost 150 games. But
Big.
It really comes down to how good is this Thresh, right? It depends how Zell will play against this Rakan, right? This huge matchup is really skill dependent. Like, obviously, you vary some mileage, but it really depends. If you're playing Thresh, you want to save your hook, you want to save your flay, right? If you open with your hook, right? Rakan, he's got 3 dashes, 2 on his E, 1 on his W. And Thresh only has two ways to stop that mobility, right? With the hook and the flay. So Rakan is always basically going to get out unless he just doesn't waste his abilities. So it really comes down to how is this Thresh going to play? Is he going to be proactive or reactive against this Rakan? And Clutch, we're seeing a Malphite into this huge wombo combo.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest here. I really like the Malphite pick. I think it's really, really good here. You look at Revolution's team comp. Where's their AP? It's just Galio, and like, Galio, yes, does AP, but I don't think it's enough AP damage. The Malphite coming in really shuts down the Viego, the Nocturne, right? Like, really shuts them down. I like the pick here. For the side of Rev, I would have liked to see Kurt on maybe something else that's not the Galio. I think he is a top 4 mid laner in this league. He is very, very good. He's very lane dominant, too. We saw on stream, I forgot who he was up against. I think it was Hawkthorn, but maybe not, where like his team lost the series, but he was like solo killing their mid on the Syndra, like over and over and over. I'm like, this guy's smurfing. So I would have liked to see him on something maybe a little bit more, impact the game a little bit more, more of a carry champion, but Galio going to be locked in. Revolution kind of going with the globals, like Nocturne turns out to like, Galio kind of thing. And Monkeys Rising, they've got a very good team fight. They've got the Seraphine. Malphite goes in, Seraphine ults. We have the Xin Zhao, Thresh to protect the Ezreal. Very good comp from the side of Monkeys Rising. I think this game's going to be a banger with both these comps that these teams draft.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of looking at Revolution's team comp, and I'm thinking they have this very specific chain of events they want to happen. Obviously, Rakan and Galio can't really go in first. Galio, he needs someone to ult to. Rakan, he's just so squishy, he can't be primary engage. Nocturne has to either turn off the lights, go in like you said, and then I see 2 huge just reset city champions on this team. Jinx and Viego, right? Like, as soon as we get 1 kill, we find this 1 pick, right? If we get a really good Nocturnal, maybe Rakan or Galio, even they find a good pick, right? And then it just launches Jinx or Viego, and I don't see anyone really on Monkeys Rising's draft that can really stop those 2 champions.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to come down to execution, right? It's very clear what both these teams want to do. It's very clear how it's going to be played out by both these teams, but it comes down to execution. This game could be it for Monkeys Rising, right? They have to win. This is their season. They lose here, eliminated from playoff contention. Revolution loses here. Monkeys Rising now have another shot where they're going to most likely have to win next week because they do not hold any tiebreakers except against Big Duck Entourage. That is their only win. We're going to go to a short break, but when we come back, Revolution Esports, Monkeys Rising, game number 1. Don't go anywhere, guys. Alrighty. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Revolution Monkeys Rising, game number 1. Rev on the blue side, Monkeys Rising on the red side. I'm obviously joined by Exernian here. The E-Subcasters coming in. But Exernian, Xin Zhao versus not actually. I'm not even going to get to speak because we have an invade coming through from the side of Monkeys Rising. They're going to be looking to that bot bush. Obviously, Thresh, he lands that hook onto Aardvarks. It could be big. The flash is going to come out, and it's going to be a trade of flashes for both the teams.
Honestly, that is so big. Jinx without Flash, she is so weak. She has no mobility, right? You're not Ezreal. You don't get an E level 2. You don't get a free Flash, right? And we're seeing, look at this, response from Revolution. We're sitting in the top side of Monkeys Rising. Maybe we just trade some vision, or maybe we look to fight. I don't know. Maybe Monkeys Rising, they're sniffing this one out.
Minions have spawned.
Yeah. And now we're going to see the 3v3 coming out. Monkeys Rising did spot this one. Matchup I want to watch, though. Xin Zhao versus Nocturne. Zygon versus BTS Jungkook. I think this is going to be a really interesting matchup because I think both these junglers, kind of came out of EDL a little bit, kind of made their footing in EGL, but really haven't shined. So this could be the game to prove, hey, listen, I am out of EDL, but I can still contend. I'm still a good player here in EGL.
Yeah, what I'm really liking from what Aardvarks at least try to do is pull the wave, right? You can kind of mitigate the fact that you don't have your flash. You get level 2 before Thresh Ezreal, right? And then you lessen that potency of the fact that if Ezreal and Thresh get level 2 first, you're pretty much dead, right? Or you just have to play back and miss a whole bunch of XP, a whole bunch of gold. And I think that level 1 is really, really making its worth right now for Monkeys Rising.
Mm-hmm. And we see both junglers, I believe, started on the same side of the map, so we could see a fight at the Scuttle, so make sure to keep your eyes on that one. It looks like Xin Zhao elected to skip the Raptors, as now we see the Hex Flash going to come out of the Thresh, but won't be able to really find much with that one. It looks like Xin Zhao is going to complete his clear faster, obviously, because Nocturne elected for the 3 camp, and Xin Zhao is going 4 camp here, so Xin Zhao will be there to the Scuttle first. But yeah, there's probably going to be a 3v3 at the Scuttle, so lane prio is going to be huge, as we see Kurt in the mid lane is getting somewhat low here. Meanwhile, on the top lane, pretty big CS lead for the Viego.
I mean, yeah, Viego, you have a lot of earlier, you have so much more damage than Malphite earlier. And, I'm not super familiar on the Viego-Malphite matchup. I just know that once Malphite scales, right, he's going to be so tanky. Viego can't do anything.
Yep.
So obviously these first 3-4 levels are going to be super important for this Viego to try and get the gold that he knows that he can get. And like you said, Clutch, we're seeing a lot of prio in the bot lane here. Zygon, he could be looking just to go for a gank first, while BTS Jungkook, he's on the Scuttle.
Yeah, here we go. The flash forward from Sharpwater. He's going to be going in now. Thresh doesn't have the flash. They're going to be looking to get him. That's a flash forward from Zygon. The play is going to come out, but it's not going to be enough as Thresh will be going down. First blood over to Zygon. Now we see BTS Jungkook. He's going to be looking for the kill. He should be able to get it. It's going to go to him. It's going to be a trade 1-for-1. But there was so much committed from Revolution's side.
Yeah, honestly, I did like the play at the beginning from Zygon. He maybe he knew that Jungkook was on the Scuttle, and he said, you know what, maybe we just have to go for a gank here, right? And make the most that we can out of it. So I'm just gonna, throw us to a quick replay. So obviously looking at this, just look, we have so much priority from the side of Monkeys Rising. There is no way that Zygon can even look for the Scuttle at this point. So I think I love this. I love the flash W's from Khan. Very, very, very beautiful. And just look at just how much you get out of that. You're getting a first kill, first blood. Not bad. I think here is where it should have been turned around. I don't think Zygon should have maybe a bit greedy into the bush. Maybe he didn't know that Jungkook was there. But good play, I think, from the side of Revolution.
Yeah, and Sharpwater willing to pull the trigger. He's not sitting back. He says, all right, you want to go? Let's go. And that's what I like to see from gold teams. Be decisive, right? No hesitation. If you're going to go, you're going to go, right? If it's a bad play and it ends up turning bad, at least you, didn't just let the other team roll over you. We're at least trying to do something. So, nicely played from Sharpwater. Like you said, I think Zygon shouldn't have walked up there. I think that was, maybe he just didn't know Xin Zhao was on the bot side. Didn't think that Xin Zhao started top. And another thing I want to point out, Thresh didn't have flash from earlier. Remember, he used it and Jinx did flash, so it was punished. So the side of Revolution are looking good. Now, it is pretty even gold, as the Infernal Drake is the first dragon spawning here, as we see BTS Jungkook. He is on the bot side. Now with maybe Prio in the mid lane, this could be their dragon.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think the side of Revolution, I don't think their team is strong enough to fight for this dragon. Obviously, we have some huge ultimates from the side of Revolution. I'm thinking Paranoia, Hero's Entrance. These are the, ults and game fighting, like team fighting abilities you want to play around. And I'm not sure. I might have to hold my thoughts, but nope, never mind. It looks like they're not going to go in. But like I was saying, I don't think Revolution is strong enough. They need their ultimates. They need the Heartbreaker. They need the Paranoia. They need the Hero's Entrance. Like, I think that's the execution that Revolution wants. They have this very, very specific, like, thread of ultimates and way they want to play these fights. And if you have to give up the first dragon, okay, whatever, just give it and try and wait until you're strong enough to fight.
Yeah, and I mean, Chinese Spy managing the waves in the mid lane very well there. He was able to shove in the wave, get the tempo, walk down, and just secure the Drake because of that. Obviously, being able to shove in the wave, now Kurt has to go and catch the wave. He can't just leave it. Otherwise, he's going to be missing out on XP now. Thing to watch, Nocturne, level 6. He's level 5 in the bot lane, maybe looking for another gank onto the Thresh, but Thresh doesn't now have Flash. He isn't spotted in vision. Maybe, okay, he's just going to end up backing, but Nocturne level 6. This is the game changer. The second you hit level 6, how is it going to be used? He needs to get a kill on his first Paranoia to start the snowball, because if you get first Paranoia, you don't get a kill. Second Paranoia, you don't get a kill. You start falling off because Nocturne doesn't scale very well.
Yeah, and exactly, like, what I want to see, especially from the side of Revolution, I want to see a Paranoia and a Hero's Entrance coupled together, like, perfectly. You tell your Galio, hey, I'm going top, I'm going bot, and you're saying that you're looking for these fights, right? Galio, his ult isn't the whole map. He needs to walk about halfway through River, so you need to give him, like, a 10-second advance, warning that you're going to these lanes, and then you look for those fights. Otherwise, Galio, he's gonna have to expend his TP, and that is huge when you're playing someone like Galio, right? Because you can TP somewhere, but you can't ult somewhere backwards. And it really depends, and I want to see that kind of play come from the side of Revolution.
Yeah, and now Zinza is level 6 here, as we see Galio is hovering now. So that makes me assume that Nocturne maybe is going to be level 6 soon, as we see Zinzao is on the top side. I believe he wasn't spotted out by the ward. Zinzao is a bit ahead in XP, as now we see Nocturne got the level 6. Ultimates are starting to come through from both of these teams. Paranoia is up. It's going to be massive where he uses it. Maybe onto the Seraphine, I think, would be a good play, because Seraphine doesn't have the flash. So maybe you could look mid here with the Galio, and it looks like he's just going to go into the top lane now. Malphite has the ultimate, and what's that really worth?
Yeah, honestly, I don't think it was, like, worth... like I said earlier, I think I would have wanted to see the first Paranoia being used in turn with the Hero's Entrance.
Yep.
Obviously, not a bad idea, but you know that Malphite has his ult, he has his flash. Obviously, he's just gonna, waste one or the other to get away. And it's not really a waste, but, we're seeing Zygon and Unknown Angel do this Rift Herald, and I think it's a good response. But we could be seeing a bit of response from Monkeys Rising.
Yeah, and BTS Jungkook is walking. Here comes Chinese Spy too. Watch the Seraphine ultimate, because if it does land, it could be huge. As now we see the Seraphine ult. It's going to land on the 2 Unknown Angel, taking a lot of damage. Zin's out, getting a lot of value. That's going to be 2 down from the side of Revolution Esports. And it's just a disaster off of the Paranoia in the top lane. Bot side, we see the hook nicely dodged away from Sharpotter as he goes back in. He's now going to be using the ultimate. They're going to be looking onto the Thresh. Ignite will come down. Aardvark's going to be walking forward. Yes, but Death Rocket, it's coming in. Bang, baby. Aardvarks finds 1. And Sharpotter playing that exceptionally well on the Rakan.
I gotta say, Clutch, that was pretty good looking. That was a good look coming from Sharp Otter. Yeah. That is a point in my books. But like you said earlier about the Rift Herald play, okay, we know that Malphite ulted out, but I don't think that was big enough to warrant going for the Rift Herald. We know that Chinese Spy, he's got the ultimate. Zinzao, we didn't see him bot side. We had to kind of assume. So maybe Revolution needs to know, where Zinzao is at all times before they're making these kinds of plays. Obviously, I like the fact that they're proactive. First Rift Herald especially is big. But I think maybe they should have communicated with bot lane, have maybe fought for priority, maybe have gotten even Sharp Water to go up there. That could have certainly turned the fight. But, we saw that bot lane fight too. That was huge. So, I mean, Monkeys Rising, they're looking really good in these first 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah, Monkeys Rising looking pretty good in this game. Obviously was a 2-for-1 trade across the map. Revolution's bot lane getting a 2v2 kill. As now Aardvark's 1-0-1 on the Jinx, starting to scale up here. As we got the Drake spawning in 15 seconds. It looks like Monkey's Rising maybe looking for something, but Sharpotter with BDN Zygon are here. Zinzao is still walking back. Big thing to note, Beijing the second does not have TP, and Vixper, or Viper, I believe is his name.
Yeah, I think it's Vixper.
Is it Vixper? Oh, it's Vixper. Okay, Vixper does have the TP. Now, obviously, Malphite can cancel a Sharpotter. He's going to get dashed on, but W did not land. BTS Jungkook does need to be careful. That's going to be the paranoia going to be coming down. When is he going to dash in is the real question. The answer is now. He's going to be going in Mega. That rocket comes through. That Sharpotter going to be very low, but the live flash is coming forward. It's going to be a 1-for-1 so far. 2-for-1 for the side of Monkeys Rising. Call it 3. Chinese Spy with a double kill in the mid lane. It's a 3-for-1 for Monkeys Rising.
I mean, all I can say is Revolution, where is our vision? We know our Jinx is in the bot side of the map. We don't see Ezreal. We have to assume that, you know, they're looking for the second dragon. So, you know, as we go into replay, look at where Jinx is on the map. Jinx is still at the bot side. Ezreal, he's still walking, but just look at how fast. Look, Ezreal takes a really fast pivot right here. Yep. And this vision from Revolution, obviously, it's not really there, right? And obviously, this is a really, really good punish. You know, it looked good for the first few seconds of this fight, but, you know, the rocket does obviously miss, and all I can say is Revolution, we're not playing the fights like we want to, and it's really punishing, and it's showing.
Yeah. As we see a 1v1 top side, but looks like that's going to be it. In the bot lane, also, Jinx hit a huge wave crashing into their tower, and that is why Ezreal was able to say, okay, you know what? I can just divert and head straight to this fight because the wave is pushing in anyway. So he was able to get there. Jinx, unfortunately, you're not going to be giving up like 15 CS to go help that. So she was kind of stuck in a bad spot as we just see a single dingle solo bolo in the top lane coming out of the Malphite, and it's just a disaster. Sharpotter is spotted out on vision. But yeah, it just seems like Monkeys Rising have a better grasp on the early game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're seeing them make all of these really good plays. I think Thresh is super strong, level 1, 2, and 3. Obviously, Rakan does have that same kind of potential, but it's nowhere near as the potency of Thresh. He has so much more setup. And with us, you know, Seraphine, if she does have the, you know, yeah, the double on her. Okay.
Here we go. Well, here comes the paranoia. Going to be coming out. The knockup going to be coming through. They're going to be looking on the Xin Zhao. He should be... The rocket will come through. It's going to be a trade back of damage, but they are eventually able to kill Xin Zhao. A lot used. Meanwhile, on the top side, we see a 1v1 Viper or Vixper versus Beijing the second, but you're kind of just smacking a rock literally as Beijing the second maybe looking to turn this back around. He's getting some damage down as Chinese Spy in the mid lane does get taken a bit low. And for the side of Rev, they finally do get something, but this Nocturne, it just feels like, you know, the first paranoia, like I said, it's so big. What can you get with it? And they weren't able to get anything. And unfortunately, it's kind of just been the story of the game.
Yeah, and the fact that we're level 9 now on Revolution, and I haven't seen a single, like, fight of how we exactly want to fight these, I don't know how Revolution is going to do in the mid to late game. Obviously, I think they're strongest when they all just hit 6. And I don't think they played around that spike as they should have. But Monkeys Rising, they're using this kind of... I think they're just making really good punishes, right? We saw with the first level 1 flashes used. We, you know, it was an okay punish at the same time when we punished Thresh's flash. But then we saw the Rift Herald. That was a huge turning point, I think, for Monkeys Rising. And we're obviously just seeing this snowball and snowball.
Yeah, his Chinese Spy is a bit low in the mid lane, but he's Seraphine. He can just clear the waves from 8 miles away. Yeah, and I mean, it just seems that in this game, when Revolution does have tempo, they haven't used it for anything. They really haven't used their tempo. For the side of Monkeys Rising, when they have tempo, they've been proactive. They've been the ones making the plays. So, could be the story, as now we see bot side clearing some vision. Meanwhile, on the top side, now Malphite does still have the ultimate if he wants to try for this. Vixper is really low, hurting in this lane, not really going the way maybe he expected it to go. As now we see BD and Zygon, he's going for the scuttle. He will smite that one away. Now, despite Monkeys Rising being ahead in kills, they are only 300 gold up. However, they do have 2 Drakes. The Sharpotter, he's looking for an invade here. With Chinese Spy backing, his Paranoia is just going to come out right away. They're going to be looking to go on to BD and Jungkook. He's going to take a lot of damage. He's going to be going down. And now they're going to be going on to the Thresh. That's going to be the Flash Burn, but he will also be going down. Unknown Angel will pick up that one. And Revolution finally do something with the tempo.
I think that was beautiful from the side of Revolution. They know that we're going to fight for this. And the Paranoia, like, Monkeys Rising was so confused. Ezreal was still backing, and Zelhi walks right into them, trying to maybe save Jungkook, but I think that's the miscommunication. We don't know what's on the map. We don't see what's going on, and I think Rev finding those picks like that, that's going to be their segue into a win if they keep playing to these kinds of strengths. But obviously, you know, we're looking at the same kind of mistakes that Monkeys Rising was making before earlier in the season. You know, we're getting leads, but we don't know how to transition that. So it really depends on how Monkeys Rising tries to transition this.
Yeah, and, you know, time to go color caster mode for a second. But yeah, it's all based off of tempo. Like, League is a game of turns. You know, obviously, there's going to be times when you shove in the wave and you can roam and you can get something done. It's how are we going to use this to get something done? And we were talking about how Rev, they've had tempo moments, but they haven't done anything. Right then and there, they had tempo. They were able to walk into the jungle and collapse, get themselves 2 kills. And both teams looks like they don't really know how to respond. When the other team does initiative, they really don't know what to do. Is now we're going to see an engage here. They're going to be caught out in the river. That's going to be a nice charm coming through from the side of Monkeys Rising. We see Sharpotter dancing around. It's going to be a 4v4. Nice ultimate coming through from BTS Jungkook. They're going to be winning this one, it looks like. But Jinx is free hitting. One reset. It could be GG as Aardvark has to run away. He's going to get tagged by the Malphite ult. That was huge for Beijing the second as he walks down. Sharpotter going to be running away. He's going to be falling down. Chinese Spy will pick up that one, and now the chase down is here. That's going to be another kill going over. Shut down to Chinese Spy. And like I said, it is the tempo advantage winning this team the game, and both teams don't really know what to do when the other team starts it off.
Yeah, and Clutch, like I said before, I don't know what's going on with Revolution and this team comp. Like, we're not playing to how we want to play these. We can't just walk up. We're not just looking to just walk up and fight. We needed those picks like we had before. We need to find something or try and get someone off. We don't have mid prio. I don't think did they have bot prio? I don't remember. But honestly, it's okay. I'm gonna go into a replay here. Let's take a look at this one more time. You know, we're going for Rakan. That's a really good ult, I think, but there's no follow-up. That box, beautiful zone. And look at where Jinx is. Jinx is in a really tough spot, and Viego isn't anywhere near the fight. Basing the second, he walks out. He is there first. Maybe not the best ult, but he hits Jinx, which is huge for that fight. And obviously, Viego just shows up now, and it's way too late. The fight is already over and lost for the side of Revolution.
Yeah, and I mean, Malphite was able to walk down. You know, Vixper went for the reset. When you go for the reset, obviously, Beijing the second's already walking down. You're going to be a little late. Both top laners didn't have TP. Malphite able to get there first, use the ult, and basically, I mean, didn't really, you know, win his team the fight, but was able to find the Jinx and was huge from Beijing the second. So now we see Revolution going for the second. Rift Herald, Monkeys Rising, though. They were able to get the Ocean Drake now on Soul Point, as maybe we see a contester. Malphite is here. Ezreal's in the bot lane, as we're going to see Malphite go in. Hook is going to miss. Now Malphite is kind of alone. That's going to be the charm onto 2. We'll see. This is going to be a 4v4. Jinx can get resets here, possibly, as now we're going to see the fight coming through Tiny.
And as Cole cuts out, I mean, overall, that fight was so close. I don't know how only BD and Zygon was the only person to die through all of that. Obviously, I think the TP from Vixer was maybe a little late. Maybe Ezreal was still attacking him. I don't know. Didn't have a good spot. But Ezreal can't stop your TP. That's my thought. You need that CC to stop him. So let's look at that fight one more time. Obviously,
yeah,
I do like the I do like the idea of Rev going for this Rift Herald. You know, we're fighting for what we can, and I think this was a really close and good fight. Beautiful encore, gets to the box again. Look at this zoning box. Jinx cannot walk forward, right? And Rakan is so far up, has to like just kind of retreat at this point, and this TP is way too late. Fight is again already over. Has to just TP to run away. So, I mean, Rev, I like the idea, but again, I think we need more vision. We need to maybe find a pick before we're looking for these kind of plays.
Yeah, and you know, it just seems like Rev kind of is like one step behind, if you know what I mean. Like, Monkeys Rising is always one step ahead of them. They always know, okay, this is what's going to happen. Let's plan for this. How are we going to win this? We need to rotate our laners because Malphite's been there. He's been in almost like the fights, and Viego really hasn't been around. He's kind of been in the side laning, late TPs. Like, he hasn't really had the effect that Malphite had in this game. Now Seraphine is 5-0, huge in this game with the Leanders. I mean, I would have maybe liked a bit more supportive, maybe go the Shirelias, maybe the Moonstone, but he is 5-0, so maybe it warrants it. He is very, very strong in this game. Monkeys Rising looking like they are in a good spot for this game.
Yeah, like you said, Clutch, I do think this Leandri's pick on the Seraphine, you know, I mean, I don't think it's also wrong because basing the second is going that full tank build. Maybe they said we need AP regardless if it's you know, we don't want to support Seraphine. Maybe they think we have enough. So I don't see this being, you know, the worst choice on Seraphine. But again, I'm not really a mid lane player. I'm not really a Seraphine player. So I mean, you know, it's a really hot take on the caster desk here for me.
I guess so. But yeah, I mean, Viego, like we said, I don't think he's really gotten the impact that you would have liked out of your Viego. Like, this is the pop-off champion. You're looking for Reset City. You're looking for the big plays, but it really just does not seem like he's been able to get it. And now for the side of Monkeys Rising, obviously, BTS Jungkook has been very proactive. He's been getting things done. 11 out of 12 KP, and it looks like for Rev, they are heavily playing around Charbot. He is the one engaging. He's the one looking for plays. I don't know if he's shot calling, but we see a TP here. 20 seconds now, maybe. Flash forward on the BDM Zygon, but maybe this could get turned. Monkeys Rising have full river control. So now for the side of Rev, how do we get in here? The way you get in, you need to push out mid-wave and walk in together. Or it looks like they're going to use Herald to try to get some pressure. However, they've got to go to the Dragon. You've got 5 seconds, guys. This is the soul.
Yeah, I mean, the Paranoia was a really good disengage, but I mean, look at what Rev is going in now.
Oh, yeah, now we're going to see the fight going to happen. That's already going to be one down. The charm is going to be Monkeys Rising. Look like they are winning this fight. Night Tongue coming through. Sharpouter trying to peel the Aardvark as much as he can. Basing the second, going to be flashing forward. That's going to be one going down. Viper coming in with the resets. Will be enough. Basing the second. He's not going to be able to kill Aardvarks. Yes, it looks like he on the backside. It's going to be Chinese Spy is staying out alive. The soul will go to the side of Monkeys Rising, but Viper is getting so many resets. This is going to be his next one. He's going to, looks like Ayok will flash away. He has the alt reset. He's going to be looking to turn back onto BTS Jungkook, but I don't think you win this one. It's going to be an ace for the side of Monkeys Rising and the soul.
Okay, the one thing I have to point out that whole fight, BTS Jungkook, he stayed on that dragon. So let's take a look at that one more time. So obviously we're a little late into this fight, but look at Jungkook. He's still attacking this dragon. And Revolution, just look at the health bars. You know, it's already way too late to go in. Like you said, Clutch, they were going to the dragon way too late. They walked in through the river. I think that was the right call. But other than that, we get the Viego resets, but it's still just not enough. We're fighting and fighting, but again, like, we can't just walk up and try to fight Monkeys Rising at this point in the game, and we just give over Soul.
Yeah, now Monkeys Rising with the Soul. It's looking like they are in a very good spot to win this game. Ocean Soul is huge for team fighting. Ocean and Mountain, probably the two best Souls. And then arguably Infernal's number 3 in class is the worst. But yeah, I mean, it just seems like Monkeys Rising are, they are very, how do I say this? Okay, well, doesn't matter what I say, is now it looks like the engage is going to come out. Paranoia was used, but really wasn't able to find anything. Pings are down. Looks like it's going to land on Aardvarks. He takes a chunk of damage. Now we see the Thresh walking forward. Hook will miss. But Monkeys Rising, they are a very, well-coordinated team. They play as a team. They have insane synergy. That's how they beat some of these higher-ranked teams. It is through team coordination, through team fighting. Obviously, we talked about the transition to mid-game is a bit weak, but as a team, they are very strong.
Yeah, and I think there's so much potential, again, for Rev on the late game fights. Obviously, I think that Nocturne kind of falls off. He becomes like an ult bot to turn off the lights. But, we're looking at Jinx. Jinx is still in this game despite having a scoreline of 1, 2, and 5. And look at the gold. They're not even that far behind. So Rev has
Yeah.
so much potential for this.
Yep. This is good from Monkeys Rising. Look at Beijing the second. He's sitting in the bush. He's looking for the turn. They are looking for the turn. They can actually stay on this Baron. Now, if they want to call for the turn, Beijing the second just walk forward and ult. But it looks like it's kind of split calls here. I don't really know. Looks like they're going to be going for the Baron. It's down to 2K. Beijing the second still can turn at any moment. Whenever he wants to turn, he can. And now we see the charm coming through. They're in the pit. It's down to 1K, but Zygon is dead. This should be the free Baron. And now they're going to be looking for the turn. And Revolution's just going to get absolutely destroyed, most likely. Huge Galio taunt coming through, but it's not going to be enough. Unknown Angel trying to buy space. Aardvark trying to kite, but it's not going to be enough as Zinzao's going to whack you down. And meanwhile, Viper in the backside can't get resets. Unknown Angel has to run away, and he is on the escape. Maybe Chinese Spy's trying to run him down. Will he be able to find the kill? Probably not. Looks like Unknown Angel is going to get out alive.
And like you said, Clutch, the coordination from the side of Monkeys Rising, a little bit shaky at the beginning of that. I wasn't sure what their call was. But Revolution, I think it was just who is even more coordinated.
Well, bye-bye.
Okay. Bye, Unknown Angel.
Yeah.
The one thing I want to point out from that fight, if we look at it one more time, look at the fight from this. Nocturne, I think this is a really good ult. I like the idea of it, but look at that Seraphine charm. Charm's 3 in the backline by so much time. By the time that Zygon, he's in, and the charm is done its damage. They can't go any further, and Revolution, they just fall apart after this. Aardvark's, he was doing a lot of damage, and we're gonna have to go back to live, I think.
Paranoia's gonna come out. They're gonna be looking for the play. BD and Zygon's gonna be going in. Maybe they found the pick. Maybe this is it. You need to wait for Jinx though, because they just don't do any damage without Aardvarks, and he gets hooked, he gets played. He's gonna be going down. So much sustain with the Seraphine. Nice flash away. They stay alive. It's a 3-0 for the side of Monkeys Rising.
Oh my goodness, Clutch, that's all I have to say. The one thing I wanted to point out earlier again too was the fact that Revolution was staying very, very like close in gold despite losing all of these fights. I don't think they really walked out with a, you know, a winning 5v5. But now we're just losing all these fights, and now we're you know, we're a little bit further than like 1 or 2k behind. So obviously this game is looking a little dire for the side of Revolution, and I don't really see the angle where they win other than just one huge pick, one huge reset maybe? I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, I think Rev is probably out of the game. Monkeys Rising are so far ahead. It's going to be so hard for Rev to come back, and it kind of just all starts with, you know, the tempo. Monkeys Rising in the early game, they shoved in the waves. They made the plays when they could. In Revolution, they only made one play. Yes, it was a very good play. They were able to collapse, but that's really all they got this entire game. And unfortunately for them, Nocturne Paranoia didn't get anything in the top side. Like you said, you really would have liked to see him maybe go bot, maybe go mid, use the Galio. Unfortunately, it was not used well, and now the team is kind of in a hole here. They are 10k behind. Now, Elder can win you the game. So if Rev has any chance, it's you steal the Elder and you ace them.
Oh, it might be right here, Clutch, if we get a pick onto the Xin Zhao.
Yeah, now they're going to be looking for the Xin Zhao. Now he's just going to get lanterned away. This is good odds for Rev, but they still can't even go in. Now the hook is going to miss. 5R here from the side of Revolution, but look at this battle fight. He is so big, so beefy. And now we see Zygon. He has the Paranoia. The side of Monkeys Rising, all is on a ward, but if they fight this 5v5, they're going to lose. They do not win the 5v5 anymore. Now they are out of vision. Maybe they find a pick. Maybe they look for something. You're going to have to most likely go onto the Thresh, find something before the fight begins, because the Elder's just going down. It's down to 6k. It's down to 5k. Revolution, you need to do something. And now the Paranoia is going to come down. Down to 3k, down to 2k. They can't get into the pit. He's going to go into the pit, but he won't steal the Dragon's going to go to Planet Monkeys Rising. And now with the Elder, it should just be a clean wipe for Monkeys Rising. That's going to be one already going down. Stopwatch going to be coming through. Double kill going to be going over to Ayok. Will he be able to find more flashes coming through from everyone? Nice hook by Zell as Chinese Spy is on a rampage. 3-0 for the side of Monkeys Rising, and the Elder should just be the game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's game. And one other thing I should say before the Nexus explodes is I really wanted to see some flanks. I wanted to see maybe Rakan or Galio look for something on the side. Maybe Nocturne. Probably Nocturne's a bit better. You know, and then we have so much more follow up so many more different angles, but obviously Revolution didn't really do what I thought they should have done, and Monkeys Rising is going to take game number 1 of the series.
Yeah, Monkeys Rising. I mean, they look good in game number 1, and obviously they have to win the series to stay alive, right? Like they lose this series, they're out. And now being up 1-0, you are 1 win away from keeping your season alive. And Revolution, unfortunately, just didn't look that good that game. Look at the damage charts here. Seraphine doing 21k damage. Pretty solid damage across the board from the side of a Monkeys Rising. And yeah, I mean, if you're Revolution, we need to go back to the drawing board. What are we going to do here? Because this match does mean a lot. Obviously, with Monkeys Rising winning this, they hold the head to head over Revolution Esports. So this is massive for the side of Monkeys Rising. They just need one more game and they will stay alive. For the side of Rev, back to the drawing board. What can they do?
Yeah, I have to agree with you, Clutch. Back to the drawing board indeed. Maybe we need some easier to execute comps, or maybe we need to have a clear game plan. Even if it's we want this one exact fight to happen, how do we make it happen, right? And I don't think Revolution is a bad team by any means. They have a lot of talent, but I think they need something just a little bit easier when they're going into game number 2.
Yep. All right. Well, game number 1's over. Monkeys Rising with a 1-0 lead. We're going to go to a short break, but when we come back, Monkeys Rising versus Revolution Esports, game number 2. Don't go anywhere, guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to game number 2. Monkeys Rising versus Rev Esports. Monkeys Rising taking a commanding game number 1. And now they are looking to wrap up the series as Revolution Esports. They're not going to be going down without a fight here.
Yeah, I mean, we, I know, we saw Revolution. Maybe wasn't the biggest fan of their draft. I don't think there's a lot of versatility into it. We had a lot of kind of like conflicting ideas. But, we're seeing them take off the Ornn off the table again. Same bans coming through from both sides. Obviously, Clutch, what would you like to see from the side of Revolution then, going into game number 2?
So, from the side of Rev is really...
As he's gonna cut out again. Well, honestly, I'm liking the Ezreal ban. I think it is a good ban from the side of Revolution. Ezreal was a big pick into their team last game. I do think he scaled really well. He fit really well. He's just an overall really strong champion in the season right now. What I would like to see from Revolution is, like I mentioned before, I want to see some easier to execute comps. Maybe we put Vixper instead of on the Viego top. Maybe we try like a different kind of bruiser if we're still looking to give him some sort of damage. But it looks like Revolution is going to go for a Kai'Sa, and Monkeys Rising does have set. So, Clutch, are you back?
Yeah, I need you to read.
Oh, okay. Give me 1 second.
I'm gonna.
Oh. Wow, this guy.
What?
Okay.
I'm inting.
You're inting. Okay, so sorry, we're doing some production things in the background really quickly. Oh, I'm streaming the wrong thing.
Oh, Monka.
Monka. Okay. Try one more time.
So, both sides of Revolution. Obviously, Monkeys Rising set was something that I said Rev likes to pick a lot. Every time set is left open, it is picked or banned. Or it is picked by the other team if they don't have blue side. We see here, Monkeys Rising, they take the set. They elect to take this one away. Now for the side of Rev, they go with the Kai'Sa, they go with the Victor, which I said Kurt is very good on the Victor. Instantly responded with the Seraphine and the Zin's out for Rocker again. We'll see what the R3 response for Revolution is.
Yeah, I did like the Seraphine pick in game number 1. Obviously, Chinese Spy, Seraphine's not the hardest champion in the world. Ult is pretty forgiving when it comes to, the hitbox on it. So I'm seeing a lot of dive from the side of Revolution. Looks like they like this kind of playstyle. Obviously, game 1, we had the Nocturne, which was, when you show Nocturne in your draft, you're kind of just already saying, hey, we're going for dive, right? And I like that this time they're banning the Jinx. I don't think Jinx really fit into their team comp last game, because obviously Jinx, I think she excels at kiting. She, isn't very good at going forwards when the rest of her team really wanted that. And I think, maybe we're looking for a different kind of, playstyle going into this. So, Clutch, what are you thinking about this Volibear pick?
So, Volibear is something Rev likes to draft a lot for BDN and Zygon. Now, this obviously is a flex, and that's what they intend to do with it. They intend to flex it to Vixper or BDN and Zygon. Now, I think we've seen BDN and Zygon play it a little bit more. It's a thing that Rev really, really likes a lot to do in the first phase of the draft. They pick the Bully. So we'll have to see where that is going to go. Now, Bully, I don't think is too bad into Xin, but Xin kind of wins every matchup right now. He's just really, really OP. As we see the Zillion banned away from Monkeys Rising, they do take that off the board, so they don't want Rev to play the Zillion now. We'll see. I think Rev, they need some sort of engage, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a Nautilus, Yona, something like that, paired with the Kai'Sa, because they do need engage. They don't have it on their team. I guess, you could say Volibear is your engage, but it's not like reliable engage, so I wouldn't be surprised here if maybe we see the, as it's going to be the Udyr, actually, so they're giving counter pick to the support.
Yeah, that's a champion I have not seen in a while. There was one player on a team in EGL Season 1 that always got picked Udyr. Because before Udyr was even, super good. He was on the team that, their name kind of rhymes with, Chicago, something like that. Okay, we're seeing a Xayah into the Kai'Sa. So there's always someone that kind of whispers into my ear about what they think about this matchup. the Xayah Kai'Sa matchup. Obviously, both of these ADCs are not very good numbers-wise. We see them picked a lot in pro play, just because of their ultimates and the kind of agency they both have. Obviously, Xayah, she's got the Featherstorm, she's got, her own kind of route. She's got a lot of self-peel. Meanwhile, Kai'Sa, she has that big ultimate. Everyone plays her for, the killer instinct. You want to go when you want to feel like you can do damage by yourself. You don't need someone like another support to really give you the kills. So sometimes I see Xayah picked into Kai'Sa or Kai'Sa picked into Xayah. Okay, maybe I'm gonna get yelled at for saying this, but I do think it's a little bit better in the sense that Xayah, she can ult when Kai'Sa ults, right? You buy yourself that time, it's very good anti-dive, right? I do think Xayah is not the worst pick into this team comp. My question mark is on this Braum. And we're going to see the Soraka answer. So we're talking to number 7. That's actually a Soraka. So by the way, we have in our presence one of the top Sorakas in NA.
Yeah, I was number 6 peak, but I'm number 400 now. So this matchup for Soraka is really easy. Soraka struggles against engage. That is when she really has a tough time. But Braum really isn't engage, right? That's not really the point of Braum. Braum is kind of I want to disengage. And I was thinking to myself while you were talking, if Rev picks a caster here, something I don't know, Brand, Zyra, which we've seen a couple times, it's actually pretty good into Braum. They elect to go with a Soraka, which isn't, it's obviously not a caster, it's an enchanter. Now, how the Soraka is going to be played will be interesting because obviously Soraka in team fights, you just have so much healing. It is disgusting how much healing you have. It is so unbalanced. But that being said, Seraphine can say, hey, Soraka, you want to see something really funny? Let me just rush Grievous Wounds, and then your champion isn't a champion anymore. So we'll see if that's going to happen. Now, if Soraka, can't properly position, it's just the worst champion in the game because you're getting one shot. You have no peel for yourself. So we'll see. That's, it's a decent pick. It's just how it's going to be played. You have to be very good at positioning on this champ, or you are just going to int the game away. And Monkeys Rising, for the side of them, they have a very, I'd say it's kind of a go-in comp. But, that's not really what Braum can go in, but Braum's more you coming to me. Xayah, I believe, is more you coming to me.
Yeah.
Seraphine is a little bit flexible. Xin Zhao Set are just we want to go. So it's a little bit off theme. For the side of Rev, you got Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa wants to dive. Victor kind of wants to sit back. Bully wants to go in. Udyr wants to go in. Soraka kind of wants to sit back. So both these teams kind of have we kind of want to go in, we kind of don't. So a little bit of off theme, but these could be comfort picks. These could be the big brain picks. Revolution, this is going to sound stupid, but their season's riding on the Soraka pick. This was their R5. This was their counter. And if it doesn't work out, this 2 and 4 is not where you want to be. It is, you are looking like you might miss the playoffs, especially when you don't have the head-to-head against Monkeys Rising. That could be your ticket out of playoffs. But, Xernian, you got anything we say before we head to a short break?
I don't really have much else to say. I'm excited to see how this goes into game number 2. Actually, one thing I want to say, I'm seeing some of my favorite supports. We saw the Rakan, Thresh, and now the Braum. Yep. Those were always my top 3 in comp. So, little shout out. Maybe I play in the comp scene again. Who knows? We'll see. But like you said, Clutch, we're going to take a short break before we get into game number 2. So, go sit back, relax, get some popcorn, and we'll see you guys in a few minutes. Dude, what is my...
All right, hello everyone, and welcome to game number 2, Revolution Esports versus Monkeys Rising. Should be a great game number 2 as we see Monkeys Rising going for yet another invade onto the top side of the map. Quick reminder, Monkeys Rising with a win here today would stay alive into the playoffs. And with a Revolution win here today and a BDE loss, Revolution would clinch a playoff spot as
30
it looks
seconds until
like
minions spawn.
Vixper will be late boarded back,
It's
and that's actually going to save his life.
the one player they could have killed, Clutch. He wasn't in the game yet. Oh, that's so funny. So we're just gonna see Monkeys Rising walk past. They might run into Unknown Angel, but Unknown Angel is so close to his tower. Obviously, that ward will spot them out. So, Clutch, how lucky is Vixper or what?
Yeah, I mean, someone PayPal'd him. Someone told them. I don't know how they did. They went back in time and they were just like, all right, listen, they're going to make you topside. Go AFK.
Honestly.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, it should be an interesting game. Revolution, I'm looking to see what they can do in this one. Now we see the Soraka, and I'm thinking to myself, I think this might have just been picked because I'm casting, because I feel like it would not have been picked if I wasn't. Well, that's cool, I guess. As Sharpbutter was on the recon last game. He was a lot of the engage. This time, you don't engage with Soraka. Like, you literally cannot. So it's gonna be up to his team this time to make the plays. So
I don't know. If you're playing the Soraka, you just run up to people, tell them to shut up, and
exactly.
I think that's a pretty good strategy going into it. But yeah, like you said, it's you're playing a lot of disengage versus Soraka, and Braum is not really gonna have too much kill potential. Obviously, he's really playing to, kind of accelerate his teammates. You get your you hit the Winter's Bite, you get your stacks, and stack those stuns. And I don't really see, Braum really being able to do much against a Soraka level 1 who's just gonna throw some keys at you, trying to, kite you out and poke you out of this lane.
Yep, and one thing we didn't really talk about, but I want to see the 3-man roaming squad, because this is what's probably going to happen. It's going to be Braum, Seraphine, Xin Zhao, probably roaming around the mid game looking for kills, because you're just buffing the hell out of Xin Zhao. Braum lands his passive, it's the Xin Zhao. That will proc it. Meanwhile, on the top side, a huge trade for Vixper onto basing the second. He almost loses his entire health bar. Volibear early game is very, very scary. But yeah, like the 3-man roaming squad of the Seraphine, of the Braum, of the Xin Zhao is going to be very, very scary late game. We'll see how that's going to go.
Yeah, and that was like you said, disgusting trade from the top side. That was a huge wave that basing had to fight in, and we're seeing some fighting here.
Yeah, we see some fighting into the top side. The gank going to be onto the Volibear. That's going to be already the flash. He's dashing forward. Big Bird barely stays alive. He does. Oh, the flash forward that the W will land.
Oh
and
my goodness.
Monkeys Rising with a 2-for-0 misplay from Revolution. And it's a disaster.
So at first, I thought maybe that was a mistake. We staggered the Xin Zhao and the set flashes. But, I mean, Revolution... We should have said goodbye to Volibear, said goodbye to Vixper, and not tried to commit any more to that. So obviously, a little bit of a mistake coming from the side of Revolution. Maybe we can see them turn this around.
Yeah, and meanwhile on the bot side, we see a 2v2 coming through. Heal has to be burned. They're looking on the Aardvarks, but BDN Zygon's on his way, and that's going to be Braum most likely going down. I don't think you even burn the flash. I think you just end up dying because, oh, wait, actually, he might be getting out alive, and Sharpbutter flashes forward. And now they're going to be looking onto the Braum, possibly cancels an auto, and now we see the turnaround from Monkeys Rising. Flash burn from Aardvarks. Here comes Basing the second, maybe looking for a play. He's going to get slowed. Will he be able to pull back Aardvarks? Because if he does, that could be a kill coming through. Braum going to jump forward. That's going to be the Q landing. Aardvarks is going to get tagged up by the stun, and he's going to die. Monkeys Rising are just walking all over Revolution in the first 4 minutes.
Honestly, I think that was a really good TP from Basing the second. We saw, I'm not sure, is this EGL anymore?
Oh, no.
Oh, we're seeing maybe
not the
little
Ornn TP.
invade. Oh, okay, we're not really gonna see too much. Okay, let's... I know. Okay, let's take a look at this one more time. obviously, you know, this fight is turning bad. Zygon, really good gank coming in from him, honestly. You know, that's the Soraka engage I'm talking about. Flash, tell him to shut up. You know, that's what we like to see. But, like I said, the TP here from Basing is so big. This is the only way they can really try and salvage this fight. You know, we get the face breaker, we get the Winter's Bite, and that's this. Okay, they don't actually get the stun, but Haymaker's enough to kill her. So, and that's going to be the dragon for Monkeys Rising, and we could just be seeing a repeat of game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's a disaster for the side of Revolution. I mean, they really haven't been able to get anything done, but maybe Vixper gets something done. He's gonna get a single dingle solo bolo in the top lane. He's gonna kill Basting the second. He says, yeah, you might TP and make plays, but I'll just kill you in lane.
Yeah, and we're seeing Zygon all over the map as he's looking to go mid lane right here. It's gonna get spotted up at the ward, kills the ward. Not much gonna happen there. Obviously, Chinese Spy still has the flash. He can get away if he really needs to. But again, like you said, Clutch, we're seeing, you know, the solo bolo single dingle in the top lane. Vixper is looking really, really good on this Volibear pick. Look at the CS difference, 37 to 18. I like the play to steel caps buy number, you know, the first buy. You're seeing a lot of damage. Seraphine doesn't really come online until, you know, she either has kills or, you know, Chinese Spy might actually go that Moonstone this game.
Yeah, and might be the Moonstone coming through from the side. Now we're going to see a fight here. Flash forward from LeBron. They're looking for Sharp Otter. He doesn't have any sums. He should just be going down as he's actually running away, but he's going to get tagged by the W. And once the E comes out, yep, he is going to go down. And yeah, I mean, Monkeys Rising, they're looking like they might be taking the 2-0.
I mean, that's a good punish from the side of Monkeys Rising. We know that the Sharp Otter used his flash earlier in the bot side play, obviously, to flash silence. Not the worst play in the world, I think, but obviously, yeah, like, we're seeing these really good small punishes from the side of Monkeys Rising. Okay, Zygon will start his ground for him, thank you. And he's gonna leave it.
Yeah, I mean, he's just walking in, he's saying hi.
He's coming in, he's like, I'm saying hi to your grot, man, and now he's gonna take Scuttle, but...
Yeah, and, you know, obviously the Soraka pick is like, you want to scale, right? Like, you're down for doing nothing. Like, if you're up against a team that is not very proactive, and they are like, let's play for team fights, let's scale, let's play off our objectives. Oh, Soraka's great. You just get to scale for free. But when your team wants to make a lot of these plays early on, you're not really a champion. Level 6 is when you get your value with your ultimate. But early on, you're kind of just like throwing out Qs, trying to hit whatever. But yeah, Monkeys Rising have been playing very, very well. This entire series, they've been the team making the plays. They've been pushing on through Revolution. And for the side of Revolution, they are really just kind of struggling. They're not really finding their footing, and it could be a disaster. Now, the one shining light is Vixper, but he is going to get ganked. Now, he does have the ultimate, so maybe he can make a play here. He's going to get attacked on by BTS Jungkook. The flash is going to be burned. Ult will also be burned, and it looks like Vixper is going to get out alive.
Yeah, and Clutch, like you said before, like, we're seeing all of these kind of punishes, right? It's a really good punish from the side of Monkeys Rising. Like, Soraka, she's trying to just scale. Like, she's, you know, she's like, you know, guys, I really don't want this kind of action. Like, can we just relax? You know, handshake lane, you know? Have a little bit of fun before we fight. Because when you're the Soraka, when you hit the, you know, mid to late game, like, all you have to do is just heal. And, you know, press R. You're like really dependent on 2 abilities you cannot miss. And it's really hard for a Soraka to be useless in this mid to late game when, you know, you're just there to heal, right? And when you're playing these kind of like scaling lanes, which I think the Braum pick can't completely punish in lane, which is why I'm liking the fact that BTS Jungkook, he is coming down and he is making these plays and punishing what they can.
Yeah, I mean, BTS Jungkook has been looking exceptional this series. I think he's been playing very well, been very proactive. A lot of the time, he's been kind of known as the farming jungler that kind of just waits to scale, but, you know, playstyle has changed a bit. He's making a lot of plays on the map. Meanwhile, on the bot side, see Aardvark does get a bit low, has to burn the heal. Sharpwater also has to burn the exhaust. They aren't level 6 yet for the side of Revolution's bot lane, so don't have key ultimates as Udyr is on the bottom side, and Now they gotta get out of there. Now Ayok does have the ultimate, so maybe this gets turned. TPs are not up, so this is going to be a 2v3. Ayok will flash out if he can walk forward. That's gonna be the W coming through from the side of the Braum. He stays alive. Shield comes up. Ayok, he's trying to turn this one around. Wish is up. First Sharp Otter doesn't have a lot of mana. He throws the Q, but now I don't think he has enough mana for the ultimate. BDS Jungkook is gonna land a W. He's gonna be jumping forward. Will he look for Sharp Otter? The answer is yes. Now PD and Zygon, he's running forward. The healing coming through from the side of Rev. Oh, it might not be enough as Aardvarks. It actually is enough. He stays alive. Ayok going to use the ultimate. Does he have the feathers? Can he pull them back? If he can, that might be a kill. And at the end of the day, nobody
Oh my
died.
goodness, we're like watching people just fight with like pillows. It's like a pillow fight. We're not like, you know, we're hitting each other, but we're not doing any damage. And one thing I want to note was Ayok held his ult for so long.
This is going to be a single dingle. That's going to be the ult used. Vixper, oh, I thought he had his ultimate. Set's got to get out of town. That guy stays. He's just going to get ulted, and now he has to back off. The one saving grace for Revolution Esports is Vixper is slamming this set in the top lane. He's going to have 3 plays to his name. This is going to be one big electric bear.
And like, just look at the gold here, Clutch. Vixper, he is up around 600 gold on this base thing, you know, this set pick here. Obviously, that's around 2 kills, you know, 300 per kill. And Vixper, he's up so much CS too. That is making the difference for the side of Revolution.
Oh, they're just looking on to Zygon. They're looking to kill him. He doesn't have flash. He's going to get knocked up. The wish does come out, but it's not going to be enough. Now the TP is going to be coming through from the side of Revolution Esports. This might be too late. He has the ultimate. He has to run away, and Monkeys are rising up to the challenge and are absolutely taking down Revolution Esports. Up 6-1 in kills, and now going to get the second drink. Sharp Otter is here. Maybe they're looking for the Braum. They do have the Victor. That's going to be the charm coming through on to Dose, as that's going to be Victor already going down. Now Sharp Otter will fall, and it is just a one-sided stomp from Monkeys Rising.
Oh my goodness. Like, I just don't know what's going on. Like, I wish we had some pro view or something from the side of Revolution.
Yeah, where's our
like,
pro view?
yeah, can we get some pro view? You know, our budget is like -$3.
Exactly.
But honestly, like, Revolution, I can just see how. Okay, there's. Hold that thought. Jungkook, it's okay. Well,
Pro view.
pro view. Can we get the pro view?
My man's pulling a Jisuke or what? What was that?
I mean, the thing I wanted to point out was the fact that Revolution, they look so disjointed with all of their calls. Like, when they're at these kind of dragons, we need to know, are we fighting? Yes or no? It can't be just like, you know, I don't know. We can't just like, you know, we can't just dangle on that thought. We have to pick. Yes or no. It doesn't even matter which one's right, which one's wrong. We just need to make a decision as a team. So these kind of like hanging times where we're not, you know, we're being indecisive, I think that's what is really, really hurting Rev right now.
Yeah, and you know, your favorite thing, the center boots were built. You know, I know you.
Center boots. Zell,
like those.
my son, what's happening? I thought I raised you better than this.
Oh my god, yeah, what did you teach him? But it's like a 2.5k lead for Monkeys Rising as Sharp Otter walking in the river. We might see a 3v3 breakout, but Victor does have tempo. This could be good for the side of Rev, but they don't even want to fight 4v3. And I'm like, well then when are we gonna fight?
I know, and at this point, maybe Rev, you need to, you know, look for something, be a little more aggressive. While Vixper, he's gonna start proxying the wave. Honestly, this is a really smart move by Vixper. Sorry, I really like this. We know that, you know, Zygon was bot lane. We saw him show in the river, and you know, he's not gonna completely get that whole wave. But again, look at just how far ahead he is in gold. Actually, the gold gap is closing a little, but honestly, it's the only way he can really push what little of a lead he has left.
And I just want to say one thing. BDE is going to take game 1 off of Hyperion, I think. They're looking like they're going to win. Monk!
That's
Monk
spicy. I like it. Spicy games and series like that, honestly.
Upset City today, I guess. Monkeys Rising say, all right, I mean, it doesn't matter how good you are. We're going to take you down. And for this, and you know, BDE says, ha ha ha! Hyperion's #1. We'll show you who's #1. And now we see a fight into the bot side. A lot of healing coming through from Sharp Otter. He's going to be taking some damage. You need to target Soraka in these fights, or you're just not going to win. Now the TP's going to be coming through from the side of Monkeys Riding. BDE and Zygon has to run away. The feathers are going to be pulled back. That's going to be coming the Wish coming through. But I don't think the Wish is enough as Ayok on a killing spree. Now Sharp Otter is going to get tagged. Watch Chinese Spy's ultimate as that's a double charm. That should be Aardvarks going down. Maybe if they can get the last proc, but they won't be able to. It's a 2-4-0s. Now we're going to be looking into the top side. There's going to be a lot of damage coming through from the set. The healing going to be coming through from Vixper. He has the ultimate. When is it going to be used? Looks like Vixper is running away because he's like, something's not right here. Oh, actually, he's just going back in. That's going to be the ult going to be used. Vixper, he's going to be looking for the dunk down. He's going to get the extra XP. He's looking to run after Bation the second. That's the Haymaker coming through. That's going to be one. Will he be able to take out BTS Jungkook? He's trying. That's going to be the TP coming through. That's going to be the ult used from BTS Jungkook. Now the TP going to be coming through from the side of Revolution. Kurt is in the top lane, but he won't be able to find anything. And it's fighting all over the map, but it favors Monkeys Rising.
Oh my goodness, Clutch. I'm not sure if everyone's teleport keys are lagging or something, or what's going on. Honestly, okay. Tiny spot, I did like the TP, but one thing I want to note is I wish he TP'd to this ward right here instead of the tower.
Yeah.
I think that if he had TP'd further back, he would have been able to, you know, turn that fight a little bit faster and maybe would have killed both Kaisa and Soraka instead of just one. But, you know, again, still not a bad TP. And then obviously in the top side, we saw, I don't know if you noticed, but Vixper, he pinged, like, for assistance, like, right as he died. You know, and at that point,
no.
if you're calling for your, you know, if you're calling for Unknown Angels TP, it needs to be earlier. You need to say, like, again, like the decision making, you need to say, I want to fight, I need to turn this. And we need to call for TPs earlier. TP is, I think it's a 4-second channel. Please correct me if that's wrong.
I think it's 4. As now we're going to see a 1v1 in the top side yet again. Vixper is just constant aggression onto this set. Oh my god. And look who's back! It's Zinzao, baby! He's going to be looking for Vixper. Vixper should be going down. Will he be able to trade one? That's going to be the flash for information second, and Vixper is going to die. There's got to be some tilt setting in from Vixper. He's been doing a great job in the 1v1, but every single time he tries something, it is answered by BTS Jungkook, who just has a tent in the top side of the map. They're going to lose the Drake, but they're going to be getting so much gold. They get a tower, another charge on the Rift, and Monkeys Rising just playing the macro game better.
Yeah, like you said, Clutch, like, just look at how aggressive Vixper is playing. Dude, you know your team is entirely on the bot side of the map. You can't be playing so far up, and again, I don't know what their communication is looking like right now. Because you should be saying, you need to back off, you know, they're coming for you, you know, and I don't know if that comes down to if he's not realizing it or his team isn't calling these kinds of things out, and oh my goodness, Zygon.
And well, actually, that's going to be a lot of damage. That's going to be the Victor ultimate used. And now maybe Revolution wins this one as we see Vixper's getting some damage out. Sharplotter trying to frontline, or trying to backline, give HP to Vixper. It's not going to be enough. That's going to be one going down from the side of Monkeys Rising. And Sharplotter has to run away. Might be able to get out, as it looks like he is. He's a fast boy, and he is going to get out of that one alive. Oh my god, but yeah, Monkeys Rising still coming out ahead.
Oh my goodness, like, okay, I'm not gonna hate you for the flash. You know, you see the stacks, you know, you want to get that stun. If Sharpwater had been stunned, that's a kill. But, you know, obviously Riot's very nice to Xayah, and they stripped away everything that made her good. So, you know, attack speed steroids gone, ult cooldown is gone, and you know what they're giving her in her buff next patch? They're giving her 580 on her Q. the ability that you max last. Thank you, Riot Games.
Yeah,
we're very good at addressing what makes champions bad.
Yep, beautiful. And I just want to say one thing. It's not relevant to this game. BDE just took game 1 off Hyperion.
That's massive. So if you guys don't know, games in the league, Hyperion is undefeated in series right now. So that's huge from the side of BDE, who is currently 1-4 in the season versus a 5-0 team.
Yeah, I mean, if BDE beat Hyperion, then, like, you've got to ask yourself, like, how good is Hyperion? Because that is scary. I don't know, man. Maybe they're just finding something. Something's starting to click. They're the BFE of the league, I guess, this time. They're the ones who scale late. But, you know, obviously, we got to focus on this game. Monkeys Rising versus Revolution. Sharplotter is going to get caught out here, doesn't have the flash, and bye-bye. That's what happens when I said you play Soraka, you get caught. It's Enchanter Syndrome. You're dead.
It's Enchanter Syndrome indeed. I see this so often. We're playing like Lulu Soraka. Nothing wrong with playing those champions. It's just that there's a reason Riot gave that buff to the Spell Thieves warding range, because we're seeing plays like that. Enchanter Syndrome. You walk up trying to get vision, and You don't have mobility. You don't have any kind of self-peel, right? And you just die. So...
Oh, misses. He was trying to hit them. But yeah, I mean, if you're playing an Enchanter, right, you're not the Nautilus. You're not the Leona who can, like, sit there and tank for, like, 6 seconds and be like, maybe I get out. But if you're an Enchanter, yeah, you're not a tank, man. You're going to get blown up in, like, a second, so you really need to be careful about your positioning. That's what I was saying. Good Soraka players, if they have if they have positioning, oh my god, that champion is the most busted thing in the world. You're just pumping out heals and your team never dies because you're sitting in the backside where they can never touch you. However, if you're just walking around having a good time, you're just going to die off cooldown because you don't have the tankiness of a Nautilus, of a Leona, of a Rel.
Yeah, and that's the problem too. Like, you know, as a, you know, Rakan player, you have so much mobility. You have so many outlets, so many ways to get out. But, you know, you can't just sit and tank. And that, you know, it really comes down. Now you're looking at 4 deaths. We don't have finished boots. We have a Moonstone and a Ruby Crystal, but I'm not sure what any of that's going to really do for us here at this point in the game. We're 21 minutes in. We're really looking at the bottom of the barrel here right now. We're 14-3. We're down 7k. And I don't know how Revolution is going to try and even find an outlet to, you know, somehow make a way back into this game.
Yeah, if you're Rev, I mean, the good news, oh, well, I guess there is no good news as there it is again. Soraka face checks and Soraka dies because you are not, oh, actually might be staying alive with the ult now. She's going to go down. And now for the side of Rev, they just don't have the healing. Nice charm coming through from Chinese Spy. It's going to be another one dead. And again, you're not the Leona. You're not the Nautilus. You're not the Rel. You can't keep doing that. And if you do, you're dead. Is now Vixper maybe trying to get in there. I believe he's probably going to go down. Unknown Angel, he's 0-0-0. He has not died in this game. He's trying to run away. He is going to get tagged. Maybe they go on to Kurt. He doesn't have his flash up. It's just about to come up. That's going to be the ult burn, getting some damage down. It looks like it's going to be a 3-0 for the side of Monkeys Rising and most likely the Dragon.
So, Clutch, is there like a little bit of reverse psychology going on for this team? So, for you guys who missed that on the waveline, obviously our predictions, all of the analysts, so me, Clutch, and Matt Pizza Sultan, we all predicted a Rev win tonight, and Monkeys Rising, they obviously are 1-4 in the season, and they were looking really, you know, kind of looking a little rough, you know, and I'm really glad to see Monkeys Rising. They're really fighting for playoffs. Like we mentioned before, this series is one to win if they, you know, even want a chance at playoffs. And, you know, I love seeing teams, you know, fighting and saying we still want a chance at playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I guess it's just Miracle Week as now we see BD and Zygon. It's going to eat some damage, but I guess it's Miracle Week. You know, the teams that are facing elimination are like, all right, we're facing elimination. Guys, it's time to start trying. They just turn it on and start winning. Like, I don't know what's going on here. Maybe we see a team fight. Sharpotter again frontlining as he's going to get caught, but does have the blast cone to get over the wall. And I don't know if it's Sharpotter frontlining. Oh, the charm! Nice flashes. Sharpotter to stay alive. He doesn't have the ultimate. He needs to run away because the chase down is huge. BTS Jungkook, he's going to be running forward. Sharpotter is very low. Nice knockup coming through. Is going to hit 3, but up with the damage. And for the side of Revolution, they do stay alive. They're down 8,000 in gold, and it is just so hard for them to win this game because now Monkeys Rising, if they want, can clear out vision, can start the Baron, and wait for the side of Revolution to come in and then just end up turning.
Yeah, and we're nearing this, you know, we're nearing a 10k gold lead for the side of Monkeys Rising. Like, you can play these fights exactly how you want. You're in the driver's seat. You can set up anything you want, and Revolution can't really do much. As we see, they're doing the Baron.
Here we go. Yeah, I mean, BD and Zygon doesn't have the flash. He's got to get into the pit somehow. It's down to 3k. He's got to be too careful, though, because if he goes too soon, just like that, the dunk down's going to be coming through. Now it's going to be split call. Beijing the second. He is going to die. Maybe this is it. Sharpotter is here to heal the team. He does have the ultimate. Maybe this is the turn. BD and Zygon is just going to go down right away, but Sharpotter is in the front line. He needs to run away as he will be running. Gravity Field will stop them, but a 1-for-1, but Monkeys Rising, they'll take the Baron with that. So hashtag worth in all chat.
Hashtag worth indeed. Like, when you're the side of Revolution, the best you can even hope for is a 1-for-1. Obviously, you don't get the Baron. I mean, I think when you're fighting for that, you expect that, you know, you're not going to walk out with that Baron unless someone gets a miracle steal or, like, you know, maybe BTS Jungkook, like his, smite key doesn't work all of a sudden. I don't know. Maybe that's what you gotta hope for in those kind of, scenarios. But obviously, Revolution, you need these kind of 1-for-1s at this point. You guys are more like 10k behind, 9k behind, anything you can get. And obviously, as, Monkeys Rising, they haven't taken any inhibs yet, and the most you can really do is hope and pray that you can get at least a little bit of gold in your pockets. Anything, just anything is what you need.
Yeah, and Vixper, maybe he's looking for something here, but I don't know if you're going to be able to go for that one as he's going to be running away. Now, the team is here. Maybe they back him up. That's a lot of damage on Victor. He has to ult away defensively, and Ioke, he's running into the team. He doesn't even care. He says, you know what? We're so far ahead, I can just face check you. As he walks in, Unknown Angel, 0-0-1. KDA player or what, Xernian?
KDA player, even though we don't really have any publicly released stats or... Yeah, honestly, honestly, I thought they could have turned that. Instead of Vixper ulting backwards, I thought he could have ulted forward. Seraphine was in the top side of their jungle at the blue buff, and Zal, he was not at the fight yet either, so... But, I don't think they knew that, and... If they're looking to fight here, they have to fight under their tower before it goes down.
I think the game's going to end here. I think this is going to be the push where they end with this Baron. Maybe they can fall back to Drake. I mean, Sharpotter's just gone.
Sharpotter, no.
And now, here come the gates. The gates are being opened as Chinese Spy with the flash forward hits the two-man charm on it. Good night. And Monkeys Rising 22-4. They kill 4. They're going to be looking to end the game. They stay alive in the playoffs. They needed the 2-0, and they got it. They are now on the brink of playoffs. As Vixper, he's going to take himself a kill. He says, you know what? I'll take a kill. Whatever, guys. And that's going to be the game. Monkeys Rising with the 2-0 upset.
And Clutch, this was, again, like we all mentioned before, a huge, huge series that Monkeys Rising needed to win for even a chance at playoffs. And they're looking really good coming out of this game. And I'm just excited to see how they do in the next week as they go up against, I don't even remember.
Yes.
Yes.
BBU.
Okay, well, again, that's going to be a huge, huge matchup for them. Again, it's going to be very difficult. As I do some production things instead of clicking the stats.
And I mean, I'll just talk and do whatever. So yeah, I mean, with MIT Monkeys Rising, my bad, winning today, no teams clinch for playoffs. Monkeys Rising had to lose for teams to clinch, and since they won, now no teams have clinched. So if you are the rest of the teams in this league, you have been given another shot, right? Technically, I guess. If you're Revolution, you're given another chance. Win next week, you're most likely in. It's going to come down literally to the last week. Like, that is going to be it. Winning, you're in. Losing, you're out. You got to praise the gods that you, if you get into tiebreakers, you win, because Monkeys Rising, with that win, keep their season alive. Revolution, now they lose the head-to-head against Monkeys Rising. That is going to be maybe something that is their season. Maybe that loss is just game over for the side of Revolution. Maybe that's it. So, yeah, I mean, Monkeys Rising 2-0, pretty big for them. Xern, you got anything to say before we head off here?
All I gotta say is sorry you guys had to listen to me cast. I am much more comfortable on the back end of things here. But again, thank you guys all for watching. I always appreciate when people show up and engage in the chat. It makes me kind of happy, just a little. But again, that is all I have to say. Really great series coming out from Monkeys Rising. I'm excited to see how they play next week. Obviously, they're not the streamed match. They kind of got streamed 3 times out of like 7 weeks. So I don't know how I'd feel streaming them again 4 times. So, but again, thank you guys all for watching, and I'll let you sign us off, Clutch.
All right. Thank you guys all for watching. I was joined by Xernian, the E-sub cast coming through. But yeah, thank you guys all for watching, and we will see you guys next week. Peace.
'em.